All right, we need to replace this closet light. This is one of these surface mount lights that's supposed to mount up on the ceiling, and then you're supposed to be able to twist this off. But sometimes if you look on the internet and do a search, you'll find that you can't get these globes off. And we tried everything we could to get this globe off, short of breaking the glass, and that would be the only way to get it off. So the solution here is to replace the entire fixture, which you can do without having to remove that. And you can see, I found that actually, look, this ground wire is not really even installed right. The whole thing's not installed right, but you should be able to take off the positive and negative wires and the ground wire and replace it. So we're gonna do that now. And the biggest thing you gotta remember about this is don't replace it with anything smaller than what you have, because you can see the paint and the rings on there. You gotta use at least the same size or bigger, and we're actually using this to upgrade from a single fixture, I think this is a single light bulb, to a triple light bulb, and it's gonna have LED lights in it now instead of the incandescent, so it'll be cooler, it'll actually use less energy, the bulbs last like 20 years, and it'll provide more light in this closet. And you don't need to buy anything fancy. We found one on Amazon for like $15. It's a much bigger fixture with 3 bulbs. Don't even bother to go to the stores. If you're looking for a closet light, just get that one. And look, you can see, I want to show you guys something you'll notice is, I noticed right away when I took this down, it has insulation to prevent any kind of airflow from going into the house from other areas. But I felt a huge amount of airflow here, and you can see this new caulk. I did that caulk. You want to definitely seal this up with caulk like I did, so that you can seal drafts. It's going to make a big difference in the comfort of your house and also in your energy efficiency and your energy bills. And this is the time to do it. You don't want to take these lights down if you don't need to, but if you're taking them down anyway, you definitely want to take this as an opportunity to seal that up and, you know, buy a $1 tube of caulk and do that. All right, this is the light fixture that I got online. You can see it's like an oil rub bronze, I think. And it's 15 and a quarter inches wide. The one that we had was 10 inches wide, so it's definitely gonna be bigger. And you can see it comes with the wire nuts. It's supposed to come with the wire nuts. This is the metal globe. Oh. Okay, you can see 3 fixtures. And here's the outside part. Just don't screw this on very tight. That's what you gotta remember. Don't screw it on tight. Okay, here are the installation instructions. Alright, and in this red bag are the other pieces. And the wire nuts. So before you do anything, make sure the switch is off. Alright, well, you gotta disconnect these wires up here. And as you can see, this is the ground wire that's on the light fixture, and this is the ground wire that's in the electrical box. And look, it was never even connected. So there's nothing to disconnect. This was a faulty installation. It's a good thing we noticed this. It wasn't even connected. So all we gotta do is take these off, just make sure they don't touch. And I can feel actually some air blowing through this, so I'm gonna seal. Once I take this off, separate the wires, I'm going to re-caulk this interior to make it completely airtight. It'll make a difference in the comfort of the house, that's for sure. So for these things, you just unscrew them. That's all you do. And this light's gonna fall down, so you gotta make sure that you're careful. See, like, it comes off. And like I said, don't touch them together. Right when I take this one off, the whole light fixture is going to come down, so make sure you're holding it with 2 hands. I got to put the camera down. Alright, so that's off easy enough. And light comes down. Just throw this thing away. Actually, maybe you want to save these wire nuts. And actually, I'm going to put this wire, I like to put both these wire nuts on the existing exposed wires so they don't get electrocuted for now. I can feel a little draft coming through here. All right, get out the caulk gun now. I will say this draft is nothing like it was before, but any little bit helps. Any little bit of work you do here to make it right is gonna save you a lot of money and more comfort. Make sure you have a roll of paper towels. Like I've got, you're gonna need it, your hands are gonna get all caulky. Here's the caulk gun. I sealed it before with a long screw. Hopefully this worked and I can reuse the caulk. Hopefully. We'll see. I'm gonna pull that out. Yes, it worked. It popped right out. And it's liquid in there. That's good. So anywhere there's openings like here where wires penetrate, you're going to have air flowing through. And any little holes, like there's a little hole right there. See, I've got to get, and actually I notice over here, another little hole up here when the caulk dried. Get all those little holes and all these little areas up here, and then just smooth it down with your fingers. It's gonna look kind of messy when we're done, but it'll get the job done. Okay, I've put lots of caulk in here. Now I've got to get my finger in there and smooth it around. I can already feel all the drafts have stopped. You just got to feel the drafts, and when they've stopped, you know you've got everything covered, and just push down with your finger so it makes a tight bond to the surface and won't fall off later. All right, so you can see here I've smoothed out the caulk. All the drafts have stopped, and now I'm ready to connect the new light, but I've got to check these mounting screws out. You see there's one right here. This is the problem before. Another part of the faulty installation was that they only had one mounting screw and it wasn't even holding it tight. So I couldn't get any leverage to take the globe off. The whole fixture came off before I could even do that. So hopefully they have new mounting screws. I think they do. And maybe I can replace that one with two. All right, so here's the mounting bracket mentioned in the instructions. And here are the other screws. Here's this wire nuts. We got to take these off first, and you can see these holes right here. Those screws, some of those screws are going to go through here, and then you tighten them to mount this. Whether we need that mounting bracket or not, I don't know. We're going to find out. You can see there's 3 wires all together. They're already attached using that. Oh, and I see, so we don't touch these. These are connected because it's 3 wires together. We use just these 2 to connect to the electrical lines of the house. Don't make the mistake of taking those other things apart. And then here's the ground wire. So that's pretty straightforward. Let's just see if we need the mounting bracket. We may not need the mounting bracket. Turns out that these 2 are the shorter screws. So they probably attach the mounting bracket to the surface in the box, and this looks like it might be hard to get into the box. Let's take a look. But these are the screws that are actually connect to the mounting bracket to the light because they're longer, I believe. So we're gonna, if we don't need the mounting bracket, we're just gonna take these screws out and put them right into the box that's in the ceiling right now. All right, you see there's only one screw there, and this is gonna be really hard to fit in there in terms of the width. So I don't think we're gonna try it without the mounting bracket. We'll just try to take both these screws, remove that one, the single screw, and then use both of these screws in the new installation. Hopefully it'll work. All right, this screw is really in here tight, so I need to get a screwdriver on it to back it out. Just get it all the way out. Okay, I got this one out, so now I'm gonna put the 2 new ones in, one on each side. All right, so just back both these screws out of here and then put them into the electrical box. It looks like it kind of fits. You just have to make it snug and enough to tighten it down so that, and hopefully that will work. Let's get the other one in. It looks like this one might have used to have one in there. Maybe. You just want to get it going so that you can get the fixture on here. And then when you get the fixture on, we need to tighten these down. All right, now that these are okay, and it should work. We need to make the electrical connections. We're going to use these new wire nuts that came with it, not the old ones. Get rid of the old ones or just keep them as spares. And we'll connect the ground wire first to hold the fixture there before we put the other two on with the electrical connections, because the ground wires, there's no power going through the ground wire when it's just on its own. It'll hold it there. And you can see the way these things work is you put the wire inside, and it's got this like a spring looking thing, coil. It actually fuses the wire together and makes it almost like a weld. You got to make sure it's tight and snug and won't come off when you get it on there. All right, as you can see, it's just it's suspending that fixture, see, by the ground. You got to make sure this is really tight, pretty much as tight as you can get it. So these wires are fused together, and then do the same with the black and white ones. Make sure you don't cross them and don't get electrocuted in this process. But take the old wire nuts off, put these together, and then fuse it together with the new wire nuts. Then we'll be ready to mount the fixture. Before you screw them on, what you want to do is line them up so that they're parallel like this, you see? Then you get the wire nut on the end of them and tighten it down. You can feel that resistance. At some point it's just going to stop, but you got to wait till you get all the way to that point. And then you can say that you're done with that. Okay, that one's done. Now the black. If when you get the wire it's a little bit frayed like this or even less, you need to push it together so it's like a thick solid wire before you join it together with the other wire. So let's do that first. Sometimes you even want to twist it. See, it's so much different than it was just a little while ago, and now we'll join them together like this. Because the one from the house is a solid core. It's not small pieces of wire like this together. All right, we've got all three. This one was hard to get. You'll find that the one that's not solid, the one from the fixture, tends to pull out. Make sure that's in there snug. Don't assume just because it's together it's going to stay. The first time I did this, the one from the fixture actually pulled out with a little bit of a tug on it. Now what's going to happen is it's going to be a little bit messy because we have caulk in here, but these wires need to be tucked in here, and then we're going to push this whole fixture up, and we're going to line up these holes so that these are they line up with the fixture, and then we're going to tighten these screws down, and hopefully that should be it. Hopefully it'll go smoothly. All right, see how these have like keyholes? We have to get the large part of that screw head through there and have to find it. This is the hard part. This is really hard. Well, I think what I'm finding is that these screws are not long enough. I'm going to have to get something that has the same threads on it, but longer and a similar size head, because they're not long enough, because this box is recessed so far back into the drywall. It just doesn't have enough of that screw sticking out to capture the light. So this might be some kind of issue that you encounter, but we're gonna have to get longer screws. Okay, I put one bulb in there to test the fixture for right now, and it works. Like, it works. All right, we've got some longer screws, and they're like the next size up. I got two different sizes up. I'm not sure how long I need them to be, but this is the next size up. And I just threaded them in just a little bit, enough to hold it. They are as long as they're going to go, so let's see if this light will go in there, and it'll hold it snug if it'll reach. These sides are not going to fit. It's still not going to reach. Okay, so this is the 1 3/4, and those are not going to reach. So now we're going to try this 2 1/2. Hopefully these won't be too long. Look at how much longer this thing is than the original screws. I hope that's enough. Well, it does fit, but what I found is that these heads are a little too big to fit in the hole that's in the light down here. So I'm gonna have to try to put the light up first and then feed these in and make them into where they fit in there. Hopefully It's gonna be like looking for a needle in a haystack, but I gotta do it that way. All right, so I poked it up through here. There's a threaded end. I've got to match it up to one of these holes up here. Let's do one at a time. All right, I've got one of them. Now getting the other one's gonna be near impossible probably. It's actually gonna be okay if I just get one, I think. Just don't screw this on tight and don't get the globe on too tight, and we should be okay. But we'll try to do number 2 also. We'll try to get both of them on. Okay, I think I got the second one. I really don't know. I can't tell for sure, but we're just gonna go with this. All right, this looks to be it. Now, we will pull out this bulb and replace 3 with 3 similar wattage bulbs and then put the cover on. This is what I'm putting in there. That's some light. And then get the cover on and secure it with the little knob in the middle. Alright, this was a little tricky to get on there, not cross thread it. Make sure it's on there snug. Not too tight though. Wait. I already might have put it on there too tight. Oh man. I hope not. Well, that's it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Have you done one of these yourself? Where'd you get the light? Could you get the cover off? Let me know.